Noise with. Hi everyone and welcome to Rob Evans 365. It's day number 387 and what a beautiful day here it is. It's Saturday morning here in Melbourne, Australia, and we are having the most beautiful winter's day. I love those winter's days where autumn can be like this too. Really crisp in the morning, really quite cold. I'm rugged up, I've got a beanie on, I'm out having a walk in the sun to get some vitamin D. And the sun is shining down above me. No breeze, fresh, crisp air coming into my lungs. It looks beautiful. I'm standing right on top of a hill, working over the top of a hill right now. I can look out over my suburb here in Pakenham, and it's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous day. Now, today, what I want to talk about is a common theme. If you've been listening to me for a while, I don't always talk about just health and fitness, but to me, health and fitness is the foundation, your spine, if you like, the spirit that lives through you to enable you to do all the other amazing things that you want to in your life. And when it gets to each weekend, I want to make sure that I am getting the absolute maximum benefit of the extra time that I have on a weekend to make sure that I'm progressing my life forward. Now, you could say that progressing your life forward means different things to different people. So, for instance, progressing your life forward for you on a day like today could be you're going to relax and unwind, revitalize yourself by doing those things that you really love to enjoy. It might be sleeping in a little bit longer. It might be going to watch a football game, or watch your favourite sporting event. It might be going to watch the kids play a sporting event, although we're in school holidays here at the moment, so a lot of the school sporting events stop. But you know what I mean? It might be doing one of those things that really fills you up and makes you feel good. For other people, it might be, maybe it's going to the library, reading a book, spending some time going shopping. It might be going to the movies. It might be spending some time with family, like not the family that lives in the house, but your extended family. It could be just having a snuggle with your intimate partner. Whatever it is that thrives you, there are a number of different ways of doing it. What I like to do is make sure that I'm using my weekends, because every day for me is super, super busy. So when it gets to the weekends, I want to make sure that I'm using that time where I don't have so much client-facing time and meetings and so forth, even though we've got a webinar coming up on Sunday night. But generally speaking, I've got more time so that I can be taking that time out to do those extra things. Now, for me, it could be working on business stuff, it could be personal stuff, it could be a combination of those things. But my point is that I set my weekends up just like I do with any other day of the week, in terms of I write down what it is that I want my outcomes to be for today, so that when I get to the end of today, when I get to the end of tomorrow for the weekend, then what will be success by my standards is based on what I want the outcomes to be. So what I am doing is I'm planning for success right at the start of the day, making sure that I know exactly what it is that I'm going to get done. So I am effectively saying at the start of the day, what needs to happen for me to get to the end of the day, no matter what happens in between, but for me to get to the end of the day and say, if I've achieved these 1, 2 to 4 outcomes, that I'll really be satisfied with today. I'll love the outcome for today and I'll feel fantastic, no matter what happens in between. So that's why you don't want to make it too big, but you want to make it meaningful for you. And then when you've done that and you get to the end of the day and you go back, and it takes some practice to get into the habit of doing this, you've got to do it every day. then you get to the end of the day and say, actually, yeah, I did those things. Now, the first time you do it, you'll probably say, oh, actually, I did those 2 things, but I didn't do these 2 things. But my day was still okay, because you're not used to this practice of, documenting the outcomes of what you want to achieve and so forth. It takes time, it takes practice, about 90 days before you're going to just keep on doing it naturally. Now, I know that you could be listening to this and thinking, well, it's the weekend, I just want to chill out and not have to worry about doing that sort of stuff. Yeah, I might do it through the week, but I'm not going to do it on the weekend. Well, I'm here to tell you this. Newsflash. If you don't do it on the weekend, you're not going to do it during the week either. You may do it sometimes through the week, but you won't do it all the time. Now, if you think that, well, this sounds freaky, you're a workaholic, you're not really enjoying life and just letting it relax, you relax and let life happen around you sometimes. You don't have to be so structured and regimented. Well, to me, that's a bit like saying you don't have to eat healthy all the time and just let the food happen around you. So if you're out and eat junk food, eat junk food. To me, it's a lifestyle, and they're lifestyle choices that I make to achieve the outcomes that I want to achieve. Now, yeah, is it going to agree with everybody? No. But look at it this way. What I want to achieve in my life is, oh, there's an angry dog. What I want to achieve in my life is a high level of performance. And that high level of performance is higher than what most people want for themselves. I want to live my life on a higher level than most are prepared to live. They might wish for it, but their wishing for it is by winning TASLotto and not having to do the work to build something themselves to get to where it is that they want to get to. They're just hoping that something happens and that money will solve all their problems. So in order to live at a high level, that means that you've got to structure it, and you have to be fanatical about this stuff. If you read biographies, autobiographies of the world's most successful people, whether they be from artists, scientists, technological people, whether that be Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson, any of those people, Walt Disney, and you listen to what their journeys have been and how they get to where they are now. I guarantee you that every successful person in the world doesn't really care what day of the week it is. It's just the same thing. They are setting goals for themselves, and they're working on the weekends. They're spending time with their families and all that kind of stuff as well. But it doesn't get to Saturday and they say, okay, I'm not doing any work. They continuously keep working on their vision, their mission, to make sure that they're successful. Now let's take a look at another side of things. Let's talk about your food, your exercise, etc. Most people get to the weekend and they feel like, oh well, we'll go out, we'll have the night off, we will eat whatever we want over the weekend, we won't worry about doing any exercise, we won't do any of those things. So what happens when that happens is that you tend to let those behaviours flow in through the week as well. So what that means is, well, that's a symptom of why we have such an overweight and obesity problem in this country. Most people do not focus enough on their health and fitness consistently. Okay, so they get the outcomes that they get because of where their focus is. So if you've got all those things, let's just focus on the other side of it for the moment and thinking, okay, high performance. How do we get high performance in all those areas so that we can not only get the body we want, the health we want, the level of fitness that we want, the level of energy that we want. How do we do that? How do we achieve the outcomes that we want for our careers, our business, all that kind of stuff? How do we achieve those things? Well, we do that with the focus of, we do that with having consistent focus and drive and purposeful action. And you need to have habits that you follow every single day so that you get into this habit these high performance habits, as Brendan Burchard puts them, to perform at a level that is above what most are prepared to do. So most people want a better outcome for themselves. Most people want more money. They want a better business, a more successful business. What people aren't prepared to do, though, is put in the work that is required to achieve those outcomes. Because when people realise what they need to do to get those outcomes, they're just not prepared to do it. They want the outcomes, but they're not prepared to put in the work. So what I'm telling you here is this is a high performance tip of planning out each day, and then when you do get to the weekends, continue to do that so that you can continue to get the outcomes that you want. So like I said before, your weekend could be, do you know what, I've had a really busy week, and trust me, your perception of busy will change with the more high performers that you deal with. Because what I once thought was busy, and people will look at my schedule now and say, you work so much, you are so busy. I'm not busy compared to, say, my coach, JT. I don't know anyone that's busier than him, but he knows people that are busier than him, but he works so hard. He's so hard working because of the outcomes that he wants to achieve. So I look at him and he inspires me to say, you know what, you've got to dig deeper, you've got to do this smarter, you've got to keep working on these particular things so that you can get a better outcome for yourself. So this is what I have found works so well for me. So your outcome could be, I want to relax, unwind, and completely rejuvenate myself today. Let's just work on the day. And then it's like, okay, if that's your overall outcome, you need to say, so how are you going to do that? So for me, it might be taking a bath at night time to really relax and unwind. It might be finishing the night with a movie. It might be cooking up a different recipe where I don't have to be rushed and so forth, but it's a healthy one. Maybe it's just a little bit different to what I would normally do. And it might be reading, doing some reading. Maybe it's going to get a massage. Like if I was in Bali, for instance, it would be something like probably getting up at sunrise, going for a nice walk along the beach and enjoying the sunrise, spending time having a good quality breakfast where I'm not having to rush and just take time to observe the surroundings and enjoying the delicious food that I'm eating. It might be doing some reading by the pool or lying on a day bed and doing some reading and writing, something like that. It's doing a workout. It might be doing, like having a steam, a sauna, or a spa, like a paddle in the pool, a massage. I'm just thinking about the things that I did while I was away. I did some Tibetan sound meditation, and that was really cool. Going out for dinner, having a nice healthy dinner, enjoying the environment at night time, just really embracing those things, and they really fill me up. Now, what fills me up may not fill you up. So I love writing, okay? And I love writing about what I'm passionate about, and that is writing about health, wellness. It might be writing an article, it might be working on, my next book. That style of things, it really does a lot for me. It really fills me up, and I just love it. Like I think as I get older and older, I'll just write more and more because there's something in me that says I've got to get out these thoughts to help other people and to help leave a legacy for my kids in the space of health and fitness. So if I look at my youngest one, they're both focused, but my youngest, Olivia, she's very much into her health and fitness. And for me to be able to keep writing and writing and writing for even if it just had a positive impact on her life as she gets older and she's got material, videos, content, recordings to go back and listen to, then to me I think that's a beautiful gift, and they can be shared with the world. I've got a big announcement coming up on that shortly actually, but hopefully over the next few days. But to share those thoughts. I mean, to me, that is a big part of what fills me up. And other people would say, but that's work. But to me, it's such a release, a beautiful release of getting out that creativity and, getting down your thoughts. So to me, it's a great thing. So my point of this is to say, take your weekend and break it up and see what's the overall outcome that you want to achieve. So I'll tell you what mine is for today. I haven't written these down just yet because I've been busy with clients up to now, and I thought it's such a beautiful day. It's up early. I want to just get some sunshine on my face, feel refreshed. I know where it's. Apologise for the background noise with the cars right now. I'm about to turn down a quieter street, but to get that sunshine on my face is really important. So again, one of my objectives today: get some sunshine, get my 10,000 steps in early. Feel revitalised by the sun, and just walking out in the sun is a beautiful thing. Next is my main objective. I don't have the kids. They've been with me most of the week. I don't have the kids this weekend, so there are a couple of things that I want to do. Main objective though this weekend is to finish a complete edit of my book to hand over to the proofreader. That is my main objective. I hope to get that done today. But that is my main objective for this weekend. So when I get home after my walk and this recording, that's what I'm going to get stuck into. Next is to make sure that I revitalise myself. So what that means is that yes, I won't be having any client-facing time, but I need to take some time out for myself so that I can fill myself back up. How do I do that? Well, yes, I hear you saying this walk this morning does that. That's part of that. The other one is to do a workout, which I will do a workout later this afternoon, probably around 4 o'clock, somewhere around that time. I'm going to go and do a workout in the gym, so not in my studio, in the gym. And that's a big part for me as well, doing a workout on Saturday, doing a workout on Sunday. It'll probably be legs tomorrow. It might be legs today or tomorrow. We'll see. I haven't planned that workout out just yet. And that's a big part too. And so having a good restful sleep is important as well. And today, most of the food is cooked, but I will cook up a meal, but that will probably be tomorrow. The other thing today would be, so I might do this tomorrow. I need a few extra groceries, for instance. Not enough to order them online, so I just need a couple of things. So I don't want to, waste the $15 on a delivery fee when I can just pop down while I'm having a break and pick up a couple of items. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. So that's not on my list today. But eating wholesome, nutritious food is really important. So I'm going to go home and I'll probably have a fruit smoothie. And for my mid-morning snack, I've already had two snacks today. So I've had breakfast and a snack, so I'll be having another one, or an early lunch. And spending some time with Cherie tonight. And then that, to me, has been a fantastic day. But you can see that if I don't have those things written down and I don't focus on them, they're not just going to happen. Where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. Hopefully you got that. Because whatever you focus on, you can focus on a whole range of different things, can't you? And of course, that's where your energy is going to go. So what I want to do is make sure that I am focusing on those things that are really important to me, that are going to grow, nurture me, take me to another level, and that's where my energy goes. Now, I've been doing this for a while now, and, well, for years, but probably the last 12 months I've become much more focused at doing it on the weekends as well, and I get so much more out of it. So what does that mean? Let's just say that you're in the habit of not doing anything on your weekends. There are 26, don't know where I got that from. There are 52 weekends in the year. There are 104 days in there. So just think about this, for instance. You want to move your life forward, and let's just say it's a competition of moving your life to another level. If you're not doing anything on your weekends, you are 104 days behind me. That's about a third of your year that I am in front of you because of how I'm progressing my life compared to you. Now, if you've got dreams and goals, which you all should have, I would be willing to suggest if you're not doing this, then you're falling behind in your dreams and your goals. You're not where you want to be. I'm not where I want to be, and I'm working now on being focused on those extra 104 days. I absolutely look forward to my weekends from a completely different perspective than you probably do. You're thinking relaxing, partying, having poor food choices, whatever. And I'm not saying that that's not a good thing to do from time to time. What I'm saying is that you got to set yourself up for success to be a high performer. And the ways to do that is to say, maybe you need to party less. Maybe you need to be focusing more so that you can get a much better outcome than you're currently getting. People say they don't have enough time. I would say, really? Show me your schedule. What's your 24 hours look like? What does your weekend look like? Oh, you couldn't do this. How come you couldn't do that? Oh, I had to watch, I was watching the latest series of whatever on Netflix. I was, I had to go and go out for dinner, or I went to watch a movie or whatever. Okay, well, do you know what? Why don't you do those things when you're successful and you're achieving what it is that you want to achieve? I know that might sound harsh, and it's about, trying to, get some balance in there as to filling you up and satisfying that part of you, and not just working all the time. But you get the drift of what I'm saying. You've got plenty of time to sleep and get your 6 hours of sleep in. You've got plenty of time to do these other things, but stop going easy on yourself and just goofing off on the weekend, but then expecting a different result, or wondering why you're unhappy and not performing where you want to be, or you're not earning the money that you think you're worth when it comes to Monday, when you haven't done the work on the weekend or in the evenings or whatever to help progress your life to another level. Life's busy, life can be tough, but you want to get to another level in life, it's tough, it's hard. And this is why only 1% of people make it to that higher level of achievement in anything that they want in their life. Now, I can tell you this, that where I'm spending more and more of my time now is building relationships, building strong relationships in the areas that I want to grow. So let me give you some examples there. What is really crucial for me has been over this last 6-month period, and is, certainly over the next 6 to 12 months, is growing my business, growing my brand, and helping more people. So how do I do that? Well, I get coaching from the number one wealth coach in the world, JT Fox, who helps me every single day through his coaching, listening to his podcast, listening to his programs. And then from time to time, a couple of times a year, I get that one-to-one interaction with him, and sometimes in a group environment, so that he can inspire, educate, and help me grow to a whole other level. He says that 70% of your time in growing your business, becoming more successful, needs to be spent on relationships. I don't spend anywhere near enough time getting to that 70%. So I have to spend more and more time there. Now, I've stepped up the amount of interaction that I have on social media and networking and so forth. But what I'm doing now is being more selective about who it is that I'm networking with, because JT says, I'm putting this in the context of me wanting to grow my business and become more successful there. I see this through previous networking groups that I've been in. You've heard me say it before, but broke people networking with broke people does not mean success. It means more broke, more wasted time, more broke discussions, and more living off this kind of ego of brokenness amongst all these broke people. They have no idea how to run a successful business. They have no idea about marketing, but they will have all the views in the world. But they're not doing anything and they're not being successful. But they'll tell you how you should run your business better. It's like, okay, when you're earning what I want to be earning, then come and talk to me. Otherwise, I'm going to network elsewhere. Sometimes this involves really stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is what I've done over this last 6 months, stepped way out of my comfort zone. An extension of that has been to reach out to Kerry Pothast. And I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have done the previous things before. Because each thing that you do, sometimes it fails, sometimes they work. But the point is that the failures, you have to learn from them. Say, okay, so what could I have done differently? And what's the message in there? Maybe this isn't the right connection for me for this particular reason. Learn from it, move on to the next person. And that's what I did. So I reached out to Kerry, and now her and I talk daily. This is from 12 months ago. I would have absolutely no idea how I could become, say, friends with an Olympic gold medalist. Now I think, let's forget about everything else that she does, but just think, an Olympic gold medalist, how do you become friends with an Olympic gold medalist? And in what I do, think of how, for me personally, like getting to know an Olympic gold medalist is like, wow, I want to suck everything out of their brain as to how did you get from being ordinary to extraordinary to winning a gold medal. I want to understand that. I want to get in their mind and talk about the struggles and the planning and the strategy and the training and everything that they put in place. It's like, well, you can't just ring one up and say, this is who I am, this is what I do. Let's get together and let's network. When they're like, well, what are you going to give me? What's in that for me? And so I would have no idea how to do it. But this year, just a matter of weeks ago really, I said, you know what? I can see that there's an opportunity for her in networking with me. If I say, I asked her if she would write the foreword to my book, and thinking that, well, this will help also promote her brand and everything as well. And she said yes. And I'm like, wow, that was easy. She just said yes, just like that. And I was so blown away, so excited. And so since then, one thing has led to another, and we literally speak every day. Sometimes it's just through chat messages, text messages, or it's normally through Messenger, but sometimes it's phone calls. Oh, it's actually normally a Zoom call from our computer. But I'm doing it every day, and we're getting to know each other quite well. And yesterday she just invited me, last night actually, just invited me to an interstate event with her, and in the following day to have a team meeting with the rest of her team, including Natalie Cook. Now, Natalie Cook is her fellow Olympic teammate from Sydney, where they won the gold medal. I was like, wow. So all of a sudden now, we've gone from having no high-level connections to now I have Kerry, and now coming up, I've got the opportunity to network and get to know her partner, who she's really great friends with, and all of a sudden I've doubled my Olympic connections. I think there's another lady there. I don't know whether she's an Olympian too. I don't know her name. I haven't Googled her. But all of a sudden, we've just doubled it. Okay, so now, do you think there's some potential for me to say, okay, this is an interstate event. Yes, I've got to fly interstate, I've got to pay, and so forth. But do you think there's an opportunity for me to, get a whole bunch out of this, visit and meeting, and building those relationships to, then what? Well, I think about what I want to do more of is I want to become an international speaker, talking around the globe, spreading my message, and that's what the book is going to help me be able to do. Getting a brand in the US and so forth is going to help me, be successful back here, but also around the globe. Now, both of those people, Kerry and Natalie, are international speakers. Okay? Now, I build the relationships with them, and you just never know where the opportunities can be. They speak in the corporate world, they see what I do, they think, you know what, we can see how this really relates to our message. Why don't you join us on a speaking gig, a global tour, or, whatever it is that they're doing. And that only happens from building relationships. They talk about it's not what you know, it's who you know. These people are very connected with some of the world's top promoters, and one thing leads to another. So that's where I'm spending my focus. Now, what does that mean? Well, Sunday night, Kerry and I are doing the webinar about the 30-day Winter Wellness Challenge. So obviously that's a really important first step for us doing business together. And that's happening on a weekend. So what does that mean? It needs to plan today, plan for tomorrow as well. We'll be corresponding today, corresponded last night, and you just continually do these things. Now, none of this stuff happens, generally speaking, during business hours. It's all after business hours, because we've all got other things that we're doing through the day, and some of these discussions have to happen after business hours. And that's where the success happens, pushing outside those hours where you would normally say, actually, no, there's no work here, this is just all downtime. Your high performance level, your success level doesn't just come during business hours, unfortunately. You've got to push outside that. So that's a long way around of telling you, or giving you an insight into what high performance means, and it only comes from taking a purposeful action plan that you're focused on. Remember, where focus goes, energy flows. And when you keep doing those things consistently, tweaking where you find that you need to get a different outcome, testing it again, continue to re-implement, try it, test it, do it again, that's when the high performance starts to come. Now, I've been doing this for a while, and it's only now that some of these benefits I'm starting to see, the momentum, the consistently doing what's working. Okay, let's keep doing that part, let's change this, and re-implement and test and measure. That's what's really important, to get those consistent, high-performing outcomes. And my message today is, I want you to do it on the weekends as well. 365 days a year. Even if you're on holidays, plan what it is that you're going to achieve to, plan for the day to achieve amazing outcomes for you. They might be just different. But if you plan it, you'll be successful, and you'll feel way more different about life. You're like, oh wow, what a great day I've had because I've achieved these things. So that's my winter sunny Saturday tip for you. Have a great day wherever you are. Life is beautiful. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.